Thank you guys very much. Yeah, I don't mind it being not so hot so far this year. Once temperatures get up to 30 degrees, it's sweating time, and I don't like that either. So, the basement nerds, I think we can be in quite a bit of agreement over here.
Hell yeah. That's what we're here for. That's what we all are. And what we all are, too, are fans of Blademaster versus Undead. That's the pick for FoCuS after successfully playing some Farseer games. We are going back to the big red numbers.
DK is going for base harass with Skellies. There's no way he's going to get this burrow, but he can force P on time. Something that perhaps not everybody knows is this Wyvern fast build. If you go tier 3 with double bestiary and all that stuff, this takes a lot of lumber. If you lose just 100 or 150 lumber against this, it's going to mess with your Wyvern timing quite a bit. But joke's on 1-0 because it's not going to be Wyvern. It is going to be instead a switch up into Headhunters, which we've seen before. When you see Fiends, you don't go Wyvern, you just go Headhunters.
And we are seeing Fiends. No ghoul aggression. So not even a ghoul start here, as we had in the good old Dovak style. Basically, Ted Fiends, something that didn't work for Happy yesterday, but 1-0 has the best Fiend kiting micro in the world and probably in the history of this game. So show me what's possible, 1-0.
Blank here with the €11 donation. Says, my best bros together. Life is good. Thank you very much. Yeah, I was pretty critical of this Ted Fiend build yesterday. I feel like, sure, you get Fiends against possible Wyvern. That's nice, but your creeping is so slow. Look at the DK. He's going to finish sort of his second camp. He's still not level 2. He didn't even find an item. The circlet that you have in the inventory, that one was purchased, whereas the blade has 3 items already. However, admittedly, also not too much experience.
Yeah, I mean, creeping wasn't his plan, right? He went for harass. He could have crept a bit faster if uncontested, but yeah, a little bit of switch of styles, switch of pace as well. And speaking of pace, FoCuS on the way to tier 3 already with the Shadow Hunter. And 1-0, not on tier 2 yet, didn't go for a Wand of Negation yet. That Hex can be dangerous. Oh, shop.
FoCuS playing the mind game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hiding here in the shadows. He was expecting 1-0 to expect the creep here. Waits for the scout to disappear and then goes for the item carrying creep, which might even be level 2. It's going to be close. Follow-up scout. Arcade sees it now, but it might be too late. I feel like FoCuS so far is playing an excellent early Blademaster game.
I agree. Nice items, good level, gets the big consumable that everybody wants in this matchup, as it's so hero-centric later on. For 1-0, we also have the tier 3 queued now. First bestiary up on FoCuS. I wonder what the second hero choice is for 1-0. Q's a Lich now. No Dark Ranger versus Headhunters. It could be a play. But then you switch into Wyvern and the Dark Ranger is kinda useless. Creep check now with Hex, but also with the Herd Blademaster. Is it enough? Fragile DK. He could go into the shadows as there is no reveal, but rather goes for the town portal to also save the Fiend.
Yeah, it's kind of a blast from the past. Level 1 Shadow Hunter aggression across the map. I guess it works out with the Blademaster with items like these. 3 good items. I would say if the Blademaster is weaker, it's not really worth your time. Because normally you want to make sure you creep as fast as you can with the Shadow. You want to have that level 3 as quickly as possible. But again, we come back to the creep speed of the Undead as well. It really isn't that scary. DK still far away from 3. Didn't get good levels. This is why I really don't like this Ted Fiend opening these days. It's just so slow in the early game.
We go for another creep spot. Ogre Magi, nice Hex against it. Man, FoCuS is indeed playing a fine game. He drops the Cloak of Shadows now, but he gets the Scroll of the Beast instead, and there's very limited dispel on the Undead side, so huge damage boost for pretty much everything. While I was very critical of FoCuS for pretty much the majority of this tournament, in the group stage, you casted it, lost to Ice Orc, then he also got completely annihilated by 40 in the winner bracket quarterfinal. Today is a good FoCuS day so far.
Yeah, this is looking clean. This is looking solid. I would also say strategically this makes sense. Going for the blade fast tech, you have lots of options. You could go Wyvern if it's ghouls. If it's not, you go into triple hero with berserkers when you're against the fiends, like in this case. I think the Undeads are making a mistake. I'm sorry to make this point now a third time, but yeah, the Ted Fiends, I feel like have been backfiring on the undeads. But you praise 1-0's Fiend Micro. Perhaps with that, he has a chance to turn this game still around. I shouldn't say turn it around. It's not like he's behind, but I feel like this strat just naturally favors the Orc. And my big question is always, how will you prevent the TC from landing these money stomps against the Fiends?
Yep.
Those Fiends that are so much slower and more clunky than the Ghouls.
I agree. The eyes will be on the Blade Master, of course, because we got to use big red numbers. That is a nice indicator for damage. But also, to me, the MVP of these late game fights is the Torrent Chieftain. If you can get him up to level 3 especially. Fiends, not the easiest to maneuver. They just stand around and in a semicircle, and then the TC walks in. You can't really stop him. Maybe a bit with silence, but not too much or not for too long. And then he stuns, and then the Fiends don't do anything. And then you don't have the damage. He's trying to do it with the Dark Ranger now, but he decides to go Black Arrow first. So no silence at the moment. We'll see where this goes. No 50 food armies yet. Destroyer upgrade only queued now. So no Dispel against the Hex. Bit of a scary situation for 1-0.
I would also say not too comfortable for FoCuS though. He had a good early game, but he doesn't have the great levels yet. He's going for the Lich now with the Storm Focus Fire, but there is level 2 Coil. And that level 2 Coil right now is the strongest spell on the field, and the healing from it, very good. Nice Stomp though as well, ensuring the next kill on the Fiend. Blade Master is dropping low, but he's got the big heal potion. Questionable targeting by 1-0. Going for that Blade Master.
Shadow Hunter! The heal wave a little bit too late. Boom! Knocks him out of his shoes. Coil Nova out of nowhere. Everything was very, very well done by FoCuS up until he exposes the Shadow Hunter. This is also what lost Lin a couple of games yesterday. When there's an opportunity, 1-0. Randy Orton-esque for the wrestling bros out there. One opportunity, one kill, and all of a sudden things look very well for 1-0.
I think FoCuS here just taking the fight too early. He didn't want to give up the second center camp, I guess, but he could have crept the rest of the red, the lab, the shop maybe. He could have leveled up more. And if he has a level 3 Shadow Hunter, it's a way different story there in this fight. But this now definitely gives the lead to the undead player. Next big item as well. What are the items looking like right now? It was a weak start on the undead side, but now we have Lich with plus 15 damage. That's pretty damn nice. 10 bonus int. Only the Ruined Bracers, those are not useful, but the gold will be welcome.
Exactly. Same as for the Endurance Aura before on FoCuS' side. Was nice for the fight until the TC leveled up. Now he can sell it for maybe an Orb of Lightning, which we're missing right now. In the main base, Temple of the Damned. Look at that. 1-0. The person who refused to build Banshees for 3 consecutive years against Human is mixing in Curse against the Blade.
Yeah, that's something I guess that Happy isn't really doing right now. At least not in the games that we saw so far. We'll see how they're gonna work out. Certainly gonna be quite nice to have that curse against the Blade Master, but also against the rest of the Orc army, if you can spread it, because it's almost no spell damage. Almost all right-click physical, but that's where the Spirit Walkers come in. They're supposed to help out with a disenchant, perhaps even with Spirit Link. It's kind of a long tech tree to get to.
And FoCuS has the answer with Walkers as well. Disenchant is queued, so things are looking fine. We got that Orb. Blade Master damage is ramping up as well with plus 12. He's used the Scroll of... I think he sold the Scroll of the Beast. I'm not too sure. He's getting a creep jack. 1-0. Thankfully, rebought the town portal. Gets out of there immediately. Silence on the TC. Loses the statue. Not in exchange for a Raider. That was excellently microed back by FoCuS. But Red Spot was gone. 1-0 gets the battle drums. And now FoCuS can get the lab instead. Better safe than sorry, I guess, for this little engagement. FoCuS, good map vision, good reaction, good timing.
1-0 though also wasting no time himself. He's going top right. He knows that's where the rest of the creeps are. Mainly, he's going to get still good experience here. Natural, lab, and rest of the red. I think 1-0 got clearly the better end of the creeping game. Certainly more experience as it looks.
So far, that is correct. We have Critical Strike level 2 though, so the important Blade Master level is here. Missing just a bit on the TC for the Stomp, and then we fight on the desired levels. Dark Ranger also level 3, Black Arrow level 2.
What are the peons doing? they tried to build up towers and an expansion that isn't crept yet. FoCuS, what? Is he getting nervous? Like, What? And now he's fighting just 1 kill away from level 3 TC.
I don't think he expected that. 1-0 is here. Yeah, that was a very odd move. I mean, we're all not getting younger. Maybe a little bit of delusion kicking in. But yeah, we are indeed fighting this. This is really odd. He could dispel. Yeah, he goes for the dispel on the skeletons for the stomp. Skilled it big time. And here goes the focus. Oh, he's so unlucky. The first hit on the Blade Master dispels the Hex. Otherwise, this could have easily been a kill. No crit on the Lich either. FoCuS, that was the right plan, I guess. To enable that the TC forces another town portal at the very least. This was very risky for 1-0 there.
Yeah, Hex Stomp, Hero Focus with some crits can always turn a game around. This game, I guess, wouldn't have been turned around exactly. It's still pretty close to even. FoCuS, though, for my taste, a bit too aggressive, especially that first fight he took where he fell a little bit behind. The longer this game goes, the better it is for the Orc, especially with Torrents these days, if that ever is affordable. But now we're gonna have the next fight breaking out. TC running in, looking for the perfect stomp. Absolutely no splits from the Undead. Fiend Micro here, lacking perhaps a little bit. Walkers, though, also beginning to fall. It could be more Skellies being raised. Kodo's coming forward for the Devour. One did get off a snack, but we have a lot of Curse also everywhere. And no Dispel against it anymore.
Kodo got a Fiend, gets sniped immediately, so that one's back. Second one being targeted immediately as well. Coil hits the target this time. No heal wave anymore on the Shadow Hunter. Precarious situation, man. FoCuS is falling apart. It is down to the heroes. It's down to the blade. Otherwise, there is no chance. But the blade damage is cut into 2/3 with these curses. Going for the DK once again. This time, no TP. Very decisive moment for 1-0. He has to stay alive.
Shadow Hunter in trouble now as well. Same goes for the Death Knight. Going for the Hex. Hoping for the crit. He needs that crit, but he can't. Dispel is there. Was it the Orb? Was it the Destroyer? Not clear. Blade goes down, and 1-0 will claim the first map.
Ooh, nice defensive play on the DK there. Twice lucky with the perch on the Orb of Lightning against the Hex. Well done by 1-0 though, and he claims the victory despite FoCuS having a fine mid game.
Looking good. We're seeing the Blade Master again this time around though. No fast tech with an instant shop. It's a good old Blade Grunt opening. This is what we used to see all the time back in the day. So FoCuS this time looking for a more stable early game with some healing, with some grunts. And the tier 2 tech is going to be somewhat on the later side.
And 1-0 also switching it up. 2 Ziggurats this time, indicating ghoul build. No fiends anymore. Maybe the map a little bit too small for that. But Springtime also has a rush distance. A short rush distance rather. Blade Master investing the first Windwalk for first blood.
So 1-0 has the info that it is a grunt opening and sees the Blade Master retreating. Is he going to dare to expand maybe? That would be wild. But no, not going to do that. He is going to go south to creep. Oh, Remo special creeper out going for the shop first for instant level 2.
Dude, you mentioned the special Remo creep route back when WFZ was the best undead in the world, I think.
Hey, this cap gives a lot of experience. You can kill the Berserkers easily with the medium armor. It takes a long time to kill the Mauler, but he doesn't really do much damage in return. You can also buy the Circlet if you wish, which he will. Kind of an expensive price tag, but a lot of value over the course of the game. And there you go. It's going to be a quick level 2. Blade Master in FoCuS' hands. Normally will never get a fast level 2 because FoCuS always loves to snipe items one by one and forgo the level ups for a little while.
Yeah. This is a bit of evasion creeping as well. Blade Master will not expect him to go to the south. But then he picks up this little scrap. Null Brood camp, which is easy to do, I say. Ooh, almost a coil. We have reveal, right? We do. But that would have required more than 2 coils, so not enough.
Double Cloak, I guess not the luckiest, but that's the nice thing here. If you don't find the great items, you can buy them. Blade Master took a look at the marketplace, but I guess didn't like what he saw too much. Didn't purchase anything just yet. And it's going to keep creeping in the south. Dude, this is such a classic FoCuS game. It's just running from one camp after the next, only going for the items and never taking out any other creeps.
Blade Master is a strong hero and very item dependent, so can't blame him. In his base though, Headhunter's coming out. So no Wyvern play just yet. He can still try to lure 1-0 into a Dark Ranger second and then switch, but haven't seen that in a bit. And I think the Headhunters were also not too visible just yet for 1-0 to make any adjustments. But yeah, the tech for the Orc is a lot faster. And then he should go Shadowhunter, I guess, and speed up creeping. Ships in the night. Skeleton sees the Headhunter. Is he going for the 12 o'clock?
Oh, he might be. There's lots of eyes on the map for FoCuS. Haven't spotted the opponent here in a little while. Nice scout also with the Skelly. Skelly expires. Blade is thinking about if he wants to go for the Magi. But 1-0 is getting the much bigger camp, and I would say it's getting, with this, the better end of the early game. Allowed to freely creep level 3 on the DK, which can be dangerous.
Yeah, this is odd indeed. Wind of Mana stealing for FoCuS, Big Claw for the DK, or rather for the Lich. That's supposedly the second hero. Yeah, very cool creep route by 1-0. Surprisingly, FoCuS doesn't punish this. He should have had an eye. He had an eye in the middle. Maybe he didn't see it. That's unfortunate. He was close. But yeah, creeping game easily going to 1-0. Tech game going to FoCuS with the SH as mentioned. And we continue the Headhunter route.
A player's forces are under attack.
I just love how he has literally only killed creeps that carry an item so far. We'll see if he's finally going to kill the full camp here down at the natural. I think so. He's got a decent number of units. There we go. For the first time, going for a Trapper here. Double gloves and claws is quite nice for the blade. Not quite perfect. Missing that circlet, I guess, that was taken away earlier from the DK.
But good attack speed. Hitting hard again.
Ooh. Do you think he calculated this? Perfect level 3 from this creep route.
Yeah, FoCuS is a class mathematician. Noble.
Dude, if that was intentional, that's sick, actually. Like, 5 different camps, prioritizing the items, and then level 3. It's probably more of a coincidence, but cool nonetheless.
Feels metal coming, Mr. FoCuS. He's scouting the north now. Like, god damn it, something's missing here. This is now the time where you don't need to creep the Blade Master anymore. He can go roaming. 1-0 picks up the tome, hero of the Twitch chat. And he sees Slaughterhouse, he sees tier 3, nothing out of the ordinary. Are we going? Yeah, Nova first, right? Yeah, not Frost Armor, as it was back in the day. Shadowhunter has an easy time creeping. Yeah, little lucky that he didn't Shadow Melt here. Slow start to the game with a lot of attention to creep routes, but nothing decided.
I feel like, though, whenever the Orc is playing Headhunters and gets away with the early game without losing any, I feel like that's a W. And this time around, playing a much more passive Shadowhunter. Remember last game, what did he do? Level 1, runs across the map, uses the Hex. Did he get any kills? No. He just forced the TP. A TP that didn't matter in the end. When it's a lot about hero levels in this matchup, I would say it's primarily about hero levels. Especially the Orc desperately needs them. And this time around, Shadowhunter is working on them really well, getting closer to 3. And has indeed some good damage items.
You both have triple claws on 1-0, double claws, and triple gloves on the blade. Jesus. Yep, this is a very hero-focused, hero-centric matchup, and both are well equipped for this. Third heroes are confirmed TC. We see at least one Wyvern. Maybe he doubles down on them. It's at least great for vision. Also good for damage, of course. Might require a little bit of adjustment here. But Coil Nova against one Wyvern is enough. Should be enough. Shadowhunter
I really like that one Wyvern. Certainly you don't want to invest into web just for one Wyvern. You gotta be wise with how you spend your resources. You mentioned the Coil Nova. Happy whenever he sees one Wyvern in the air against Orc. He always Coil Novas it right away, trying to get rid of it.
And that makes sense. It is a glass cannon unit. Lots of damage. Not so tanky. And that Lich should be able to get rid of it very easily as well. FoCuS. This time he cleared the gold mine of creeps before he builds the tower. So there is an improvement in that regard. Appreciate it. But 1-0 seems ready as well. Ghoul Frenzy, Destroyer upgrade. No Dispel yet, but also no TP.
1-0 is going to creep this camp with a Blade Master on his heels that's begging for a creep jack. Okay, he's pulling out the camp at least, but there's still an easy flank available.
He saw it now, right? With the TC coming in. I don't know if he saw the blade before. Probably not. Shadow Melt.
Lich with plus 28. That is quite wild. No invuln though, so that's scary. Hex, Ensnare, Stomp is a real danger.
Invo potion is ready in 15 seconds. The first one was stolen by the Blade Master. Shop control, very important on Echo Isles. I don't know if anybody told you yet. Heal scrolls, not really in high demand here, but 120 says better a little bit of healing than having nothing. And now we push against the towers. First tower is up. Again, Shadowhunter gets nuked first, but that's 2 freebies here for FoCuS.
Yeah, waste of a coil. Shadowhunter is carrying the speed scroll, by the way, for all your orc players out there. Very important. Shadowhunter always with the speed scroll. If he gets nuked, you pop that scroll, you run away, and then you heal after the silence is over. Really good fight start so far. 3 ghouls for free, basically. This is a terrible engagement. There's the Coil Nova on the Wyvern. Coil on cooldown. Easy hero kill now on the Dark Ranger, isn't it? Oh, maybe not that easy. But the Lich getting stomped and surrounded.
The tower kill, dude. He gets him with the tower. Horrendous position for 120. He knows it. There is no chance. And FoCuS just smashed him. No chance.
Yeah, that was just a really bad engagement, to be honest. Running in with the ghouls, wasting your mana. Every spell is important.
Right on. Tet Fiends, of course, the honorable way of playing the undead. Everybody who plays anything else, I don't know what you're doing. The J Gats 123, thank you very much. The boys are back in town. Love to see you back. Remo, my wife and I watched yesterday's VOD last night, and seeing you dual cast made our night. Hopefully we still get some soul co-casting. 2 ultimate tripod. The disrespect to Carson here. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, Mr. Neo, I think a TriCast would be a good idea.
Well, Mr. Remo, we will see what we can do if we have TriCast technology. Maybe we get some Sorg Lady in the mix. But we need Soul to cast the B Cup. Otherwise, who's gonna praise the BBC casters in China and their beautiful products? Soul is just made for the B Cup.
Blade Master here starting to fall behind in experience. FoCuS, I would say at times, is a little too concerned with finding and stacking up the Blade Master early on, as we saw earlier, you know, trying to get the item carrying creep one camp after the next. It can work out really well, but against some strategies, also aggressive play is really, really helpful. Especially against this kind of an undead opening. There's almost no units that you have for a long, long time. One Blade Master alone can stop the undead so effectively with creeping when creeping is already slow.
Right on. At least he got the circlet here, stole that away from the blade, so there's no double circlet. 120 scouted this left-hand side a little bit too early, then moves over to the turtle. That could have been otherwise the creep jack. So yeah, seems like both play very carefully at the moment. Not real battles for any creeps. Bit of a stalemate until the tier 2 is out. We get a barracks now. Late though. Very late.
He must have forgotten about it, right? He could have afforded this way, way earlier. It's kind of a big macro mistake. Normally you want to level the Shadowhunter, start creeping him once he comes out with like 2 headhunters. There might not be a single headhunter out by the time the Shadow arrives.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. He can Q tier 3 and instantly the Beastery as well. That might give 120 an edge here. Sells the ring against the Blade Master. Okay. I mean, he got a couple of heroes wrecked. I don't know. Does he really need the money from that tier 1 item? Not a fan of selling a ring against all that physical damage. But he probably knows better. Lich is out, and with selling the ring, he can tech now as well. So everything lining up except the headhunt.
Blade Master. I can't see him. Where is he?
Shop left-hand side. The classic FoCuS creep that he did, like, I don't know, 17 years ago on this map the first time. Blew our minds back then. He was also the one reintroducing this to springtime. It's basically the exact same thing, even similar positions.
DK crept the red camp though, at least the item, got the belt of giant strength. So lots of strength items being found. That is, I guess, nice for the DK, but not much damage. I didn't want to stack the Lich. That was so far not successful. However, experience-wise, still 1-0 comes out way ahead, and I would say FoCuS gave way too much space to this DK. Creeping with a Ted Fiend opening on Turtle Rock, you should never be allowed to hit level 3 this early. I would say this was a complacent early game by FoCuS.
Little shaky as well with that Rax late, but we can accelerate now. Blade Master inventory is looking good, but here's the Creep Jack. There's 2 rings of protection that don't protect you from spells, of course, but there is no Nova yet. Hex, Blade Master, Lich doesn't bring the Wand of Negation. We haven't seen that once, and that might bite him now. But the Shadow Hunter has to go via the right-hand side. No more Hex, and with that, FoCuS isn't strong enough.
Yeah, this was a good escape, at least. Kolnova on Shadow Hunter here could find a kill, but good usage there to get away. But this is only a danger because FoCuS played too passive of an early game.
Shadow Hunter! Oh, there's Frost.
The Nova?
There's Frost armor.
Ah, it's Frost armor.
Frost armor, yeah. Otherwise, it's a dead Shadow Hunter here. FoCuS, man.
Yeah, FoCuS can count his lucky stars if he gets out of this early game without losing any heroes or units. This could have ended way worse for FoCuS, I would say again, because he played just simply much too passive at the beginning stages.
Now we have FoCuS creeping for fighting items, and 1-0 wants some consumables. Not that easy to creep these creeps in the middle. They're pretty strong. Red spot should be easy though. Devotion aura, and alright, I guess. But nothing groundbreaking that will boost anyone up to a new power spike. TC coming. This is pretty much the exact same builds on both sides, with the exception that 1-0 had Banshees mixed in. Still has that layer for the very, very late game if we go there, because we have a lot to creep.
I just realized, by the way, it might sound like I'm contradicting myself here with these points. Earlier I said FoCuS should take his time and not fight too early, and now I'm saying he's playing too passive. But I'm more talking about harass. I feel like when you play Blade Master against a Ted Fiend build, you want to be really aggro with the blade early, and not to find kills and really put in huge damage, but just to slow down undead creeping. Because, like we pointed out earlier, it's so much about levels in the endgame. However, once you're tier 3, also when you get the Shadow Hunter out, that's when you fall back with the Shadow, you creep him up, you get levels on him. But yeah, I think harassing and delaying with the blade is still a big part of the early game that FoCuS did not really try to prioritize this game. But he's still in a definitely very, very playable spot. But he needs some more levels still if he wants to comfortably fight.
Yeah, it's an arms race. Shadow Hunter almost got killed by the Ogre Lord there. Whoopsie. Hood of Cunning. Alright, I guess. It's at least a little bit more damage on that Blade Master, who is again a weapon of mass destruction if he gets the connection with plus 22. Not bad. Lich is not level 3 just yet. 2 wands of mana stealing. I guess when you find it, you're not insanely happy about it on first sight, but this is half a Nova that you can get on a Lich or a Coil, and takes away a Stomp especially. These 4 charges, man, could win 1-0 the fight.
Yeah, I think Wand of Mana Stealing is an S-tier item these days. At least against all heroes who like mana. Against the Demon Hunter, perhaps not so much, you know, but in this matchup, mana counts for a lot. We have triple Wand of Mana Stealing now, in fact. We have 4 consumables versus 0. There should be 0 chance for the Orc to win a fight here.
Yeah, I agree. How is that supposed to work? I don't know. We got the Endurance Aura once again. Very... Oh no, he skilled it before. That's unfortunate. So he got it twice. Flute, amazing for Headhunters, and Blade when it attacks Destroyers, but Destroyers not really the unit of these maps so far. FoCuS on the left-hand side with the Burrow first. Skeleton has scouted this, and then 1-0 has to make a move soon, but I think he's ready. Sells 2 of the Wands of Mana.
Big camp here, big level ups for FoCuS. Level 3 Shadow, finally level 2 on the TC as well. Item here, not sure what it was actually.
Circlet?
Ah, Circlet. That's not too shabby either. And all of a sudden, FoCuS is looking much better. This time, I like his late game. He took his time, he didn't overplay his hand, and he was creeping up, waiting for his late game strength, which now he has. What a sick stomp! This TC landing the perfect one right away.
DK far forward though. The ultimate mistake of 1-0, always and always. Nice heal ward on the Raider, but the Fiend shots might still connect. Gets the Fiend on the way out. Raider safe to the top. Well done. Against this hero and army combo, 1-0 has to keep the DK a little safer, I guess. It's always his signature play. Run him to the front. I still don't know if it's the classic undead mistake or if he uses it as a decoy to just soak up damage. But man, if he loses that first hero, he's dead.
And maybe he felt very sturdy thanks to his strength items. +9 strength is a lot, but it doesn't mean the DK can just face tank the entire Orc army for all eternity. It's just not exactly great positioning, to be honest. And now FoCuS has a wonderful foothold here in the north. He's got the tower and the burrow and a shop coming up, and time on the Orcs side.
Looking good for FoCuS once again. Winner of map 2 might very well be the winner of map 3. Tower up. We're working on the shop. No consumable items here on the Blade Master. Only a heal potion on the TC. Closing. Oh, not closing in on level 3. So 1-0. How much damage can you do against Fortified?
There's the end snare going for the first fiend kill right away. There is a coil to save him. Stomp again. Where are the splits, by the way? There are no splits against this TC. He's just eating these stomps one after the next.
I agree. What we have are Banshees, though. Curse spread. A little bit at least. And now we try to whittle down these bases. FoCuS still waiting for a little bit of production. Shadowhunter mana also very low. He's eating so much damage on that DK. Hello, coil for the Raider. And that was the last end snare. Oh. Stomp was good. Blade Master hacking and slaying away at these fiends. Misses, misses, misses. So many misses. The Banshee already worth it. Dark Ranger and Lich providing the damage on the other side. Tries to raise the army of the dead. Invo potion on the DK in the middle of it all. TC running out of that fight. Another Raider falling. Neck and neck fight between the two. Blade revealed. Needs some healing. But should be safe now. And he got the shop in the back. So important.
Oh, the Skelly Snowball is rolling. Neo, one kill after the next. Another Berserker should be going down here as well. And it's very dangerous times now for the Orc. The short came up a little bit too late. I think the first shot position was just too bad there on the left. It was cancelled, and that was huge. And 1-0 seems to be clutching it out now in the end.
Fantastic fight indeed. The Shadowhunter barely got any mana. Love that Lich moving forward to cancel the clarity on the heroes. DK further in the back. 600 gold invested into the tiny Great Hall, barely paying off for now. Reinforcements also cut off from the heroes. That's the unique fighting position on Turtle Rock. Is there a chance for FoCuS? Oh my god, that TC just got annihilated. Coil Nova, game over as it seems, if not for 3 crits in a row. Here's the first. 177 followed up by a miss. The RNG is clearly in 1-0's favor, and he wins his losers map.
Man, I thought this one was going to go FoCuS's way, but 1-0 finally realizing once again what he's capable of at the very end. We saw some mistakes prior. Honestly, also, we saw some mistakes by FoCuS in the very early game. I would say that was much too passive, but patience by FoCuS looking good in the end game. Creeping up, waiting for his right time to strike. The tiny Great Hall, though, may be a bit too greedy.
Don't tell me they set it to private again. They did this 2 days ago already. What do I know? It is a private game. Mother truckers. Sorry guys, this means we won't have in-game sound as we are using a restream of a fly. Got a
Well, we do have the Farseer Shadowhunter this time, but not with Wyvern. FoCuS, I am very surprised by this, has not played the Wyvern a single time yet. Mass Wyvern, that is in this case.
We are a little bit late to the party because when we operate with Flow TV, that is on a 3-minute delay and they're starting game after game. Oh my, this is not looking too good for FoCuS, I gotta say. Losing 2 Headhunters here right away. Lots of skeletons. His Headhunters getting counted by the Dark Ranger second so much. And he doubles down with these Headhunters, trying to get a Fiend. That is a somewhat solid exchange if he gets it, but a coil prevents the kill for now. Shadowhunters surround. Sweet. Skeletons keep it blocked. And the Cloak of Shadows. Oh my god, what a sweet exchange.
All right, so it's 1 Fiend for 2 Headhunters. Lots of mana also was invested. Experience-wise, Undead slightly ahead. Seems like this is favoring 1-0. Not the end of the world yet, I would say. Still lots of Warcraft to be played. Dark Ranger second, though. Always dangerous against those Headhunters. This would be actually a good opportunity to now pivot into Wyvern for once.
Yeah, I don't know if he built 2 Beasteries or 1. I saw 1. No, he just continues to go into Headhunters. I've been very, very vocal, and I guess you too, that a strong Dark Ranger and Ghouls pretty much destroys the Berserkers should still be true on this patch. FoCuS
I've seen
inventory.
Lin, with insane play, outplay the Dark Ranger by picking up Zeppelin and preventing the Skelly snowball. But it's very hard to do. I would say the much easier thing to do is you see Dark Ranger say, okay, we stop with Headhunters now, we make double Bestiary, and we go Wyvern, because Dark Ranger is garbage against Wyvern.
Yeah, that's right. Can't really target them with Black Arrow. I mean, the Black Arrow can target them, but they don't have corpses, so that's no skeletons. Silence is always alright, I guess, as you play without Dispel. Life Drain, yeah, might be the better solution then, but you're already stuck with Black Arrow, so what can you do? That's why it's not that great. FoCuS finds a big mana potion. That is lovely. We are in a bit of a creeping game, unfolding the tier 3.
All right, levels are rising. I would say that's especially good news for the Dark Ranger, getting solo experience now to try to get those level 2 Skellies up. Big mana potion, wonderful. On both sides, actually. Shadowhunter close to that level 3 now as well. Farseer, skill level 2 Wolves. Against Ghouls especially, we saw lots of level 2 Chain Lightning before, but I guess against Fiends, Wolves makes a lot of sense. 1-0 here showing a clear affinity for Fiends, much more so than Happy, I guess, in this matchup, right?
As always, man, they play just so differently. Every matchup almost. There was like a week or two where I thought, is 1-0 now playing the exact same thing that Happy does to confuse people? But now he's back on that track. Yeah, whenever Happy plays Ghouls, 1-0 plays Fiends. When Happy plays Banshees, he plays Abominations, and vice versa. When Happy is going for a timing attack, 1-0 goes for an expansion. So sometimes I feel like he's just doing it out of spite to be different.
Well, so far the results are backing up his experiments. Looking pretty good so far. 2-1 lead in this series. Creeping continues more. 1-0. Eager to go in already without the Lich even, but I guess he's on the way.
Yeah, come in with an Orb of Corruption, of course, equipped there as well. Lots of mana on FoCuS side still. Supply is rather even. Shop control not exploited yet. 1-0 also with the mana potion. We got the Chain Lightning in for a steal. That was lovely. Preventing, oh, not a level really, but if you can stop the Lich, that's always good. TC level 2. Being chased by the skeletons. Kodo a little low. Using the Storm for the Skellies now. A little bit of meat shield gone. Do you really want to engage into this?
Coil flies on the TC, I think. Berserkers, though, we've seen them die quickly before. First target on the Kodo Beast. That one gets away. Decent stomp. Gets one kill. Ensnare in. Great timing on the Raider here. Coming in for the Ensnare. TC about to drop. Maybe Heal Wave is in, though. One more save, but that was the last Heal Wave for perhaps a while. Great heal potion. FoCuS with a really good fight here so far.
Yeah, even through the last coil to finish off that TC, but FoCuS gets the lid of the bottle, chucks it, and with that the cow is safe, and now it's dead, but it soaked up so much damage, trying to get the revenge kill, gets the revenge kill, Dark Ranger dead, and free fire now on the Destroyer. Good retreat by 1-0 thus far with that flying unit, but the statue's up for grabs, the Lich is up for grabs, TC obviously just the third hero, Raider falling, oh my god, Lich might be next on the menu, can he get this one? Little bit of control, maybe a Hex? Oh, the coil to the rescue. 1-0 also with the big mana potion, both consume their big mana potions, TC back in 40 seconds.
Waiting for the proc from the Orb of Lightning. The Purge is there. The coil is in. Last coil, though, Farseer. Far forward. Gotta be careful here. But Lich still no Nova. He's level 1. Not working with Nova. Only Frost Armor against Berserkers. This is painful for the Undead.
Yeah, why do you go Frost Armor versus a non-Blade Master play? That is interesting to say the least. And might cost him game number 4 here. Kodo, I think, has eaten. Oh, we don't see it in the overlay, I guess. Whatever. Still getting some headhunters here. Dark Ranger is back on barely any XP. And no spells except the one Hex for FoCuS remaining. Oh, sick heal wave though for another save. Only for the time being. DK under pressure. So much pressure. Going for the TP if there's a crit or two. That hero falls like this headhunter. And now we're counting losses. Still a good game for FoCuS with the TC back on the menu. Lich didn't get a level. Still doesn't have the Nova. FoCuS looking fine.
The concern here for FoCuS is that the Fasio, of course, will fall off more as the game goes on, but 1-0 has his own problems. And that's the Lich. Still only level 1, that's kind of crazy, 12 minutes in. FoCuS is going for the Tiny again. I would say this is very similar to the previous map. He has a small lead and tries to now finish it off with a Tiny Great Hall. This is even more greedy. He's not even at 50 supply, but he's very close to double level up.
Maybe he has the assumption that 1-0 will be creeping to get this Lich up, and then he does have some time, and for now, that is the correct assumption. He can work on his levels as well. Big upgrades, 4-4 for, I guess, Chain Lightning. Yeah, must be Chain Lightning too. That's huge against Ghouls and Fiends and Skeletons to just get rid of them if you have the mana. TC closing in on level 3 as well, and that's oftentimes a game-winning level.
I hope he puts that ring of protection on the TC. Helps him so much in staying alive in these fights. Root DE with the first time primes up. Thank you very much. Welcome. Is it enough for TC3? Shadowrunner goes in again. Farseer goes in again. What? They just stole his level 3.
Yeah, they wanted a piece of the pie as well. I mean, was it nice?
Get it at the green, but FoCuS needs to hustle up now. I would say sell that Quel'Thala's boots. Not worth the money. He got the level 3, that's big. And now it's time to pump.
All right. He got the supply levels up. 51 it is. Radar Berserker coming. No Banshees this time on 1-0 as there is no Blade Master. It's not worth it, I guess. Claws +8 on the Dark Ranger. Pretty sweet. 1-0 must know that this is happening. Okay, he got level 3 on the TC. Nice. 9 out of 10 because he builds a burrow. And this is the push.
FoCuS could even perhaps decide to give up the Tiny. He got a bunch of gold out of it already. Or is he going to fight for it? He doesn't have the big army yet. Both at around 50 supply.
Okay, FoCuS. Wasn't he an upkeep already? Lost a couple of peons, I guess. And that is, of course, always a new skeleton. 1 unit less for you, 1 unit more for me. Magic trick of a Dark Ranger. Here we go. Wolves dispelled. Both of them heal wave to keep them in the fight. Interesting, to say the least. Destroyer taken out, and now there's no solution to the wolves anymore.
Easy getting focused heavily again. Nova onto him, but also heal wave to heal him up. Invo potion still available. Gonna pop it here. Lots of kills for FoCuS. Great fight for so far for him. What's he gonna go for next? It's a DK.
Oh, Stomp, but the info was already there, and that is a Nova. TC falling again. Similar situation as before. You need the revenge kill, but there's mana. There's so much mana. Long range, Lich safe, Wolf chasing, Dark Ranger 4. Is FoCuS falling apart here now? Destroyer also safe to the side. We have Burrow, but we also have Reveal. That's a double kill for FoCuS.
That TC died with a heal scroll, by the way. Heal scroll and heal wave would have saved him, gotten back to healthy levels again. But now the Dark Ranger might be taking over with those skeletons. Supply-wise, we're even. That's not good news for FoCuS.
SH saved for now. Farseer used as a decoy here, trying to chase some units that were in the back. Wolves helped the Destroyer heal up, and FoCuS gotta lick his wounds, but the skeletons won't allow this. 1 full minute left for the TC.
Now, Peon's gonna go down, the expansion gonna stop working, but it's still time for the TC to return. 55 seconds. FoCuS, though, he could have saved this TC, man. Use the heal scroll, use the heal wave. That was the second time he lost the TC needlessly this game. FoCuS in the clutch moment, sometimes a bit sloppy.
That little bit of quality that's missing for the top level sometimes. 1-0 is looking good, 1-0 is looking stable. More and more and more skeletons. But also Fiends suffering. How much mana is there still on the DK? Maybe 1 coil, and then that's about it. Kodo nuked, fallen, Destroyer saved to the side. These 50-50 situations seem to be going in favor of 1-0 every time.
Hunter trying to run away to the right-hand side. Is desperately waiting for this TC to come back. The Destroyer doesn't go down either. There's just barely enough coils every time. Another ensnare. Now it might go down. But so many kills for the Undead. DK close to level 5. TC does return. That's big.
Okay, can he stomp his way out of that dire situation? FoCuS, I think, has the peons at his expo once again. Otherwise, it would be in the overlay. Statue, fallen. Fiends, fallen. Level 5 on the Shadowhunter. Maybe there is a chance for FoCuS left.
He's gonna need that heal wave bad. Gonna use it right here. A bunch of kills all of a sudden. Okay. Interesting fight, but 1-0 still with the supply lead slightly. Focused with the faster reinforcements, of course.
What a banger of a fight that is, raging on for minutes. Shadowhunter has to be careful of that. Coil, a wonderful hex to save his life, and now it turns around once again. Coil has to be used defensively. This Lich is a monster later on. Needs to keep it in game. Level 5 on the DK. Nuke intensifies.
Kodo is looking for the Devour. Not so much damage against them on the field anymore. Still more gold trickling in. Shadowhunter at the shop. Super close exchange. But the undead hero levels are so damn strong now. TC doesn't have the Stomp ready at the moment. TC's going in deep. The Coil is dangerous. The Shadowhunter is in trouble as well. The Destroyer goes down. Level 5 on the Farseer. Shadowhunter dying to the left. Is he? No! Gets away with like 10 HP.
What's up with that DK? He brings the heal scroll. Shadowhunter needs mana potion and healing somehow. TC trying to reach. His aura is strong, but DK back into the safety of the statue. What a banger fight this was, and it's still not over.
Peons, if they go down, also mean more skellies. Every pair of skellies is good, but the wolves are actually also really good here.
DK in trouble. Shadowhunter in trouble. He wants it. TC dying again. No way. The DK save, dude. With the statue, he gets the purge. He's nuked. He's hexed. What can you do? Destroyer for the dispel. Just a little bit too late.
What?
Are you kidding me?
What?
SH.
Shadowhunter's still alive. Can he get out? Holy shit, what a fight.
What's going on? The highest class of Warcraft all of a sudden. FoCuS has the supply lead. A miracle defense.
Holy hell, dude. That hex and kill. 1-0 way too greedy. Didn't use the heal scroll for the longest time. FoCuS made some smaller mistakes as well, micro-wise, but 1-0 made the big one. Holding on way too long to that heal scroll. Lots of time for FoCuS to get the TC back, but the push is in again, and the Expo will be prevented from mining. I don't think he can fight without the TC, can he?
Well, we'll see about that. We got Invis Wolves that feed the Destroyers. There's barely anything on the ground anymore. He's still heal waving the Wolves. Interesting approach. IMO. More and more skeletons thanks to the peons. Wolves dispelled. Had so much mana wasted. He wanted that Lich hero focus with Wolves crit, but that ain't working.
Good heal wave to heal up after the Nova once again. I think the Kodo got in a Devour as well against something. Not quite sure what it was.
Cool.
30 seconds on the TC. Lich level 4. He was struggling with levels this whole game. Level 5 heroes on the Orc side. Quite nice. Wolves resummoned. Dispelled right away. Destroyer still in the air. And again, more and more skellies being risen. Dark Ranger about to get 5. Now she is.
Ooh,
she's level 5.
6 skeletons now. They're so strong. And there's a couple of headhunters still up for grabs. Gets that Kodo. Ghoul is back, and we focus on these headhunters, of course. They're all fodder for the Dark Ranger.
TC about to come back. Maybe could bring an item as well, but he's broke.
TC back.
FoCuS is damn broke.
Despite that expo, man. Despite the expo. But the supply is still the same. But of course, skeletons don't count into your supply. Neither do wolves, to be fair. Destroyer dispel again. The fountain was barely used. There are some headhunters still left. 600 gold left. That's a minute of mining for 1-0.
Coil Nova ready. Coil Nova is ready. Going for the TC. Is he? That might have been just the Nova. Yeah, Coil defensively on the Lich to save him. And the TC goes down.
Needs the nuke. On the DK, maybe. Again, Invo Potion at the ready for 1-0 this time. Where is this going?
May have just done it. He may have just done it. The hero levels here are too crazy. 5-5-4. The Berserkers can't keep up with this anymore. He needed a Zeppelin, I think, quite a while ago against this Skelly Snowball, but now it seems to be too much.
The shop control by 1-0 is absurd, by the way. He got almost every single item, every invul, at least every second heal scroll as well, despite having to replenish that army back to 50. What a glorious encounter of Undead and Orc on Concealed Hill. But yeah, it looks like a 3-1. If FoCuS loses that Great Hall, it's all over.
Trying to fight with the TC again seems to be mission impossible. We got raiders in. They can ensnare, but where is the damage coming from? Some headhunters, sure, but it's not that much. Everything trying to be used on the DK now. It's a tanky bugger. Shadowhunter in trouble as well. And Shadowhunter is dead. Death Knight Even if he goes down, is this game over? I'm not sure. He's trying to get him. Trying to get him.
No
trying
way.
to get the DK purge, maybe.
Fly, what are you doing with that camera, my dude? Let's go off to the fountain, and there's not much damage anymore. FoCuS calls the game 1-0 against all odds with the 3-1. Excellent, excellent Warcraft by both of the competitors. They will be sorely missed because one of them has to be eliminated afterwards. But holy smokes, what a game and what a war this was. Acolyte will get the information. Blade Master checks out. So, will he pimp his Blade Master again? Or is it more of a harassing Blade Master that keeps the DK levels down? That is a decision for FoCuS to make. But here, you can start with the green. You can go towards the turtles and hydras. And then we might get a clash in the middle between the two.
Yeah, knowing FoCuS, I would be shocked if he doesn't try to snipe some items here. He starts off with the wonderful one indeed. Slippers. Putting some warm socks on his bare feet. That must feel good.
By the way, did we fast forward? Because I think we both forgot.
We did forget.
Sick. Oh, we're such degens, man. Whenever I co-casted with like Soul or whatever, I was always the one forgetting about it. But you're back and we're both forgetting about it. Love it. So,
right, I'm caught up.
Yep, 321, 22, 23, 24, 25. Seems fine. And now we're contesting the turtles as expected. Slippers, Circlet on the other side. Claw for 1-0. Nobody can really complain about that one. FoCuS in with the steal.
That prevents level 2 DK, right? Blade, though, in a bit of trouble.
That healing available. But yeah, that's the turtle. And it does prevent level 2. Double claws for that Lich. Phenomenal start. Also helps with creeping. Helps with everything. Circlet for FoCuS to boost his Blade Master for the second time. And 1-0 needs one more camp. It's this one. Relatively easy to read. Did he see or hear the Blade Master?
Yeah, I wonder. Did they spot each other?
Oh, next kill is level 2 for the Blade as well with crit.
Does he dare? Does he dare?
Gotta be fast. He's not healing at the moment, but he is way above the kill threshold. He also has mana for Windwalk. He should be able to get this. Oh, the damage is good now.
Okay. DK is gonna get it in the end, but this wasn't bad by the Blade. He's got the heal salve to heal up once more. He forced a lot of mana out of this DK, and Death Knight is still far away from level 3. You see what a difference this early game can make if you're aggressive with a Blade Master? Think back to Turtle Rock, where the DK was basically level 3 by now. And that with a Ted Fiend opening. This aggressive Blade, I think, is working out way, way better.
Maybe Turtle Rock also a little harder to read for FoCuS than Hammerfall, where it's kind of likely where the opponent is going to go. And you're pleased about the Blade Master movement. I'm pleased about the 2 buildings that I see in FoCuS's main. It is time when desperation is reaching its peak, when the strongest build is necessary. Here we go. It's gonna be Wyvern.
Oh, and a perfect timing on the Blade Master. Damn, he got the green, got the level 2, moves over, gets a steal there as well. And now the Blade with some really nice items. This is one of FoCuS's best early games so far, I would say.
Yeah, he needs that. Otherwise, he's out and doesn't get the big piece of the $28,000 pie. Even though surviving the group stage is supporting quite a bit already. We got the Shadow Hunter creeping with the Hex against the Sasquatch, interestingly. Usually, you try to go for one of these labs for the consumable items. FoCuS not interested in that, but 1-0 grabs it up instead.
And so with that, 1-0 should still get level 3 here pretty quickly. 1-0 has completely ignored the Wand of Negation so far in these games today. It can be a really good item, but it's also a bit pricey with 150 gold. As FoCuS is coming in for the Creepjack.
Oh, with the Wyvern. Gives the strategy away. Can he? He has to get some kills, I guess, with the investment. Shadow Hunter gets 1 kill, 2 kills. Well executed. Wyvern is also spotting this, aiming for a last hit. Doesn't get it. Wand of Mana stealing again for 1-0. That's number 4 in this series after the mass wands we've seen on Turtle Rock. FoCuS is also on the way to tier 3. This should be played with dual hero instead of triple hero. And now we get the Dovak Fiends with ghouls
Yes.
and fiends, which I'm very curious if that's going to be enough.
What's the third hero going to be then?
A player's
Is he still
forces
going to go
are under
Dark
attack.
Ranger? Because I feel like Dark Ranger not really that valuable against Wyvern.
Agree. Well, usually it would be Alchemist against Wyvern, but that's also when you play Gargs. Maybe you just keep a dual hero, to be honest.
We have seen 1-0 at times play a Pit Lord third. It's really strong in the first Frenzy Ghoul push with Fiends into the Orc main. On lower numbers, you can reduce the damage of the entire Orc army, and it's not overwhelming yet. But the Pit Lord has a tendency of falling off. I feel like 1-0 is in a tough spot here as to a third hero. There doesn't seem to be a great third hero to pick from.
I think since Wyvern are basically giving 0 experience these days, you should stay with 2 heroes for a while.
I think if he plays 2 heroes only, though, if all units end up dying and it's hero arena in the end, as we often see, I think he's going to lose.
That's a problem. Yep. Yeah, there's no great choice, I think. No obvious choice. 1-0 can show us the way. DK getting hexed, getting focused. That's a lot of damage raining down. Invul Potion on the blade, on the shadow. He knows Hero Focus will be strong down the road.
Thank you, Charlie. Silent with the resub.
I love that Charlie Silent didn't even put a message to the sub.
Yes. Silence is golden.
Well, you think as casters as well? Well, maybe
Yes.
maybe better than my commentary sometimes. Yeah, that's right.
Are we going to take a moment of silence soon for the Lich? We'll see. Oh, it's not the target. We're going for the Wyvern first. It is the Dark Ranger, by the way. Web comes in. Hex is also there. No Dispel yet. Destroyer form wasn't even started yet. There's 0 Dispel on this undead side.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? But you can get rid of that Shadow Hunter, you think, but then all of a sudden he's in the shadows thanks to the cloak. Could reveal from the lab. Shadow Hunter still in problems. One Coil Nova away from dying, uses it defensively. Ghoul still chasing that SH. He can't really go for any healing here. Wyvern also not the critical mass that you need anymore.
Oil saves the Fiend. I would love to have a side-by-side comparison now. Old Envenom Spears to new Envenom Spears. How much of a difference did that make? Blade gets the kill regardless. Costs him an invuln though. And that's the big one. That one's gone. Shadow Hunter also used his invuln. It might have been a misclick actually. It was back in the base already.
Yeah, that is a very unfortunate. Thank you, Bell89 for the prime. That rhymes. I like it.
Under attack.
Blade Master dashing out quite some damage. Lich is a monster. Do you feel how impactful the Wyvern XP change is? We got 3.5, 2.6, and 1.5, despite quite some Wyverns falling.
Yeah, that is certainly becoming noticeable. I'm looking at the production tab and Does he not have Destroyer form? And he's
Nope.
not researching it?
Nope.
It seems crazy.
I mean, they died to Wyvern anyway with like 1 volley. I think you should rather invest into Wand of Negation against Hex.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that as well, but you need some form of Dispel, surely.
That's right. I mean, for that, you have to be home, and he wasn't home in a long time. Just like me. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Backpack is the way. He's going Banshees again.
Banshee have good potential against Wyvern, but it takes a long time to finally unveil that tech.
Ooh, here's the Nova, here's the focus, onto the Fiend, not moving them at all. 1-0 with your Fiend micro that I praised the entire day. So far, it's just utter destruction by Mass Wyvern from FoCuS.
Point and click adventure over here. One after the next, looking for kills against the undead army. The Lich in serious trouble, almost going down. The coil is there though last second. Mana beginning to run low, especially on the Orc side. We have no heal waves left. whereas 1-0 still has a bit more to work with. The triple hero now is kind of helping out, even if the Dark Ranger doesn't raise any skellies against the Orc forces. The heal wave, I mean, the silence can still be good to prevent the heal wave, and 1-0 can always force FoCuS away and keep creeping. So now he's going to get another big camp.
Interesting. Lich is level 3 now, very helpful against Wyvern, and the Banshees are coming. They kind of need anti-magic shell against the poison of Wyvern. That's their big strength, and magic, poison is some sort of magic in the Warcraft universe. Don't ask us why, it's just how it is. And then the heroes take a lot less damage with that hero focus. But yeah, as you said, it's gonna take some time.
One of the Wind found can be very nice indeed against the Blade Master, who is creeping in the top right. Still no level 4. Taking forever.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have level 2 crit. You're right. It's only level 2 Windwalk. Needs a little bit more. Oh, they're on a collision course. I used that little time we have for thank you to FSN Strider. Thank you for the 14. FoCuS pulling in that camp. Is it enough? 1 kill? 2? Oh, still not enough. He was hoping for it.
It seems to me like FoCuS is the timid player right now, and 1-0 is flexing, playing confident. But if we get up to 70 supply, in theory the Orc army is supposed to be favored unless we have anti-magic shell on literally everything.
That is hard to achieve when you don't research the upgrade, Remo.
A player's forces are under attack.
There's still time, I guess. There's a little bank building on 1-2-0.
Yeah, but I mean,
He's leveled quite well.
why not research it now when you're banking? Now he's breaking upkeep without anti-magic. I feel
Without
like...
anti-magic? Bro,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he's not going for the upgrade.
Dude, what?
Yeah, that's like, yeah.
Why?
Yeah, dude,
So cheap.
I'm
that
asking
you have Banshees
you.
already.
I'm just asking you. You can't ask me back when I'm looking for answers.
Bro, you gotta be kidding me. Even if you can't anti-magic the entire army, at least AMS the Fiends. Those are your anti-air.
Yeah.
Wait, if he pushes now into the York base, he's just gonna get smashed without AMS.
He's now researching Destroyer upgrade after breaking upkeep. Now he has no lumber anymore. It's really odd.
FoCuS's army has gotten quite big. If he throws in a couple of raiders now for Ensnare, this is gonna be pretty scary what he has to offer.
Well. Trying to snipe the statues a little bit. Still 30 seconds away from Destroyer form. And I doubt we're gonna have big longevity on these Destroyers. But FoCuS doesn't have cement, so these burrows are in jeopardy. No full 70 food army. Wyvern are coming in. They will, of course, not be split against the Nova.
The potion popped really early. The Orc heroes might be a bit exposed moving on. Couple of kills early on, but the heroes will determine the winner in the end, I guess. And Venom Spears stacking up. And where's the anti-air? 1-0, where is your anti-air?
Yeah. This is the expected outcome. Wyvern dominate absolutely everything. There is a new fiend, alright. But Blade Master is killing the fiends. Statue, there's a lot of statues, but they are targeted now as well. There was a little bit of a Hail Mary on the Shadow Hunter, but to no avail. And now there's a lot of damage on the Orc side. Versus
Purge?
not too much. Yeah.
Another purge, maybe? Ah, there it is. Gets the Destroyer. Another easy kill.
Big Nova. Now an Alchemist would of course be nice to amplify that damage a little bit. But yeah, it seems like whatever FoCuS is clicking on, it will die eventually. No coil available. Backstab. Reach. He can't. Frost armor. Nice defensive above. And now the Lich is dead. And that's basically your entire anti-air at this point. 168
What
critical
was
strike.
this?
Yeah.
Dude, he made Banshees and didn't get any AMS. He researched Destroyer form and didn't make any Destroyers. He has the worst army, pushes into the Orc base.
You know,
This was a giant brain fart. 1-0. What the hell was this?
he kind of forgot. He wanted to
Like
play.
Daenerys.
Yeah. I kind of forgot. It happens, you know, it happens. He just wanted to play a little more. He wanted to give us a series. He wanted to give us content. I appreciate that.
Yep, pretty sure we're gonna go to the next map. For a third time, FoCuS going for a tiny Great Hall, but this time his lead is so big that this should be enough to close it out now for real. Yeah, 1-0. This was just poor play, to be honest. Also, when you have a Ghoul army like this against a Wyvern army, you have to force the fight way earlier. Don't wait for 70 supply until everything gets one-shot. If he goes for a push like that into the Orc main base, if he does that at 50 supply, that's fine, but you can't do it that late into the game with no Dispel, bro.
Felt a little lost here. Yep. And for FoCuS, it's rather simple now. Expand, he did that, check. He could go for War Mill, get upgrades, get shop control, items. Doesn't even have to work on levels so much. This is smooth sailing for FoCuS.
Anti-magic shell, bro. Finally, he's researching it. Nice. He remembered. He remembered that those Banshees can be upgraded. That's good.
Okay. We'll see if that makes a difference now. Blade Master is scouting everything. No big surprises on any side. Still, I don't know what's supposed to kill these Wyverns.
A player's forces are under attack.
Blade Master on level 5 now. Also quite the beast. I love how FoCuS isn't making a single Raider or Kodo or anything except for Wyvern. This is 100% Wyvern.
You know, if he would be up against Happy, that would be a colossal mistake, because Happy would be running in and out with Coil Nova, try to snipe a Wyvern here and there, and then you kind of need a Raider to shut that down. But 1-0 wasn't really in a position to do so, and I don't think he's playing that way.
This is looking grande now for FoCuS. 15 supply lead, so much gold streaming in. He has items out the wazoo on his heroes. Slot starved now, in fact. Even as a dust, I like that. Against Burrow Fiends.
Wazoo.
Purge. Destroyer's gonna go down right away.
Yeah.
That's not enough AMS.
He's trying to nuke the blade a little bit, but there is so much healing. There's an invuln. Thank you. And 228 critical strike. Make sure that these fiends have 0 longevity. Nuking the Lich again. Get the safety of an Invo Potion here too. But yeah, this is a foregone conclusion. Once the Invo Potion is over, we can snipe again these Banshees, man. Just one shot. Point and click adventure fits it really well.
Lots of Wyverns still in the air. Double level 5 Orc heroes, very strong. 1-0 perhaps looking for the Blade Master kill, but it's the Lich who's in trouble first. Ooh, last second coil to save that one. Too much damage now on the Orc side. Too much econ as well. Double the supply, 62 against 31. And the Death Knight now running out of mana.
And with that, there's no more healing, no more potions. Wyvern have, of course, nice movement as they are flying. Lich is dead for the second time. The writing was on the wall, and it spelled victory. FoCuS.
Okay. Is this the movie we've seen before? Lose the series, then go Wyvern, then start winning? That's what Lin did yesterday against Happy. This looks like a very standard opening up until this point. Question is, when's he gonna add in those headhunters? Because you can't play grunts for too long.
Well, you can, but then you lose, so we don't advise that for sure. Claws for the Blade is a fantastic start. Same for the DK. It's Creepcraft in the beginning, and then we'll see if FoCuS is marching across. Acolyte kind of threatening the steal here, but Bit of stability with this grunt opener. You don't tank too much on the blade. You get this full camp without being distracted, really. No War Mill still.
Great items for the DK so far, by the way. Plus 8 damage for the Lich later on. But look how much damage he's taking and how much mana he had to use. This is the result of the Ted Fiend opening. With ghouls, this would all be much easier. But this is the style that 1-0 likes to play. And I hope FoCuS remembers, okay, I'm facing fiends, I have time. I should take my time and creep, level. Grunt.
Saved. Easy. Easy. All calculated, just like his creep route on Echo Isles. All perfect. But yeah, DK at 50%. Crit unlocked. A little bit of armor as well. And FoCuS is indeed going for like 3 grunts. We still don't have a war mill.
Yeah, it's looking very old school. 3 grunts into Shadowhunter, Bestiary, Tier 3, and then Berserkers later on. This does indeed help a lot with creeping. He's across the map, taking the next camp here, and this is going to be an easy, fast level 3 for him, slightly ahead of the DK's creep speed.
Yeah, where's he finding level 3 now, the DK, I wonder? Still like 0.3 off. Could go to the little green on the right-hand side. Also has a Ritual Dagger to heal him up alongside Unholy Aura, so he will end up in the green HP bar territory. Blade Master getting level 3 as you said. And so, creep speed, pretty samey.
And now it's quite interesting. FoCuS, what does he want to do? Does he want to keep creeping beyond level 3? That's kind of unusual. But if he doesn't want to creep, he wants to harass. But where the hell is the undead? He has no idea. He's got no scouting going on. So I guess may as well keep creeping, ideally on the undead side of the map, so that makes sense. And this Blade Master's off to the races. He is going to get level 4 very fast this game, possibly.
And good inventory as well. Yeah, creep speed might not be the craziest because grunt damage is rather low compared to headhunters, but they're very tanky and they allow you camps like this where potentially plot +8 could happen. And now 1-0, he has a solid read thanks to the illusion that sees the corpses at the shop, but it's too late. Now, does that allow him to go for the middle spot, lab or merchant? Big items to be found there. But that also opens up potential for FoCuS to creepjack him there.
Blade sells the Periap, going for another circlet, and this Blade now very strong. I would love for him to keep the ring as well for the TC. I will keep mentioning this until people finally get in their skulls. That it is indeed very good. DK picks up another item here as well, and the Blade has finally found the opponent. Ends now the Fiend. He could force a coil here at the very least. He's got lots of mana on the Blade as well, thanks to double circlet. Maybe he can just force a kill right there.
Chop,
And
chop.
again, it's a Fiend opening. There's not much damage against him. The Blade can be really ballsy here. There's no Nova either to fear, but the Frost Armor will protect the Undead Army now.
Okay, no Nova done. As before, we go Raiders. Grunt Raiders. This truly is a 2009 build, isn't it?
Yeah, I think later on he is going to go for the Headhunter still.
He's going Wommel now, but I don't think I'm a fan of this. But hey, convince me, FoCuS.
Are under attack.
Oh, Skelly scouting can be very annoying here. Can cancel some healing, which it will. But there's plenty of heal selves, I guess. Shadowhunter gonna go for a fast level 2. And the Blade, with a bonus mana from the circlets with a level 3, he can tag the Undead now really well. And this is where Orc oftentimes gets ahead. Shadow creeps for free, but the Undead has to be careful because there's a Blade on his heels.
Okay, can't reveal himself. We will in a second. His cover might be ruined, and now it is. Hello! Yeah, no real threat. Just 1-0. Having to be cautious here. The DK brings the dust, so it should all be fine. And now we're creeping side by side. One gets the merchant, one gets the lab.
This means the Blade Master is again getting closer to level 4. That's when his damage starts to get very dangerous. And if he ever gets level 5, you know what that means. Lich, on the other hand, look at that. Only level 1.5.
Yeah.
Dark Ranger 3rd picked up though. And now Creepjack danger. But no Nova, so I guess not that much danger.
No Nova. Also no silence to prevent heal waves. 1-0 clearly not online yet. Banking on the fact that FoCuS is not trying to be a threat in the next couple of minutes. We still got that Wildkin here for 1-0 to pick up. FoCuS had to retreat without it. Waiting for the TC, waiting for the Kodos, and now he's going Berserker.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
FoCuS sold Book of the Dead and Scroll of the Beast, so he got lots of gold in, so that fueled his economy. Got the Orb of Lightning now pretty easily. Still a decent amount of gold left over. But the Shadow isn't level 3 yet. That's the biggest problem right here for FoCuS as we speak.
But on the other side, also no Nova, so he doesn't need that much healing. In the base of 1-0, no real adjustments. More Fiends. No Destroy. Oh, there is Destroyer upgrade. About to finish. No Burrow yet. All still waiting for it. He's trying to snipe some camps of a FoCuS side of the map, but it's immediately scouted and punished with the cost of a stat.
X coming in as well against the Fiend statue going down. There's no Nova still. York has almost nothing to fear. Beautiful stomp as well. 1-0 eats it once again. Heavily trying to go for the Blade Master, but he's about to level up. Invo Potion still available. Gonna pop it here and still no Nova. So far, FoCuS is owning this fight.
Yeah, but two of the heroes, all three heroes, away from the fight. He really wants the statue, man. No proc, and that exposes the entire army to the undead heroes, where he's trying to snipe that Kodo to get the Fiend back. Still needs a little bit more damage. Solid blocks. On the other side, the statue gets away. Here we go. Fiend is back. Now we got the Nova, and that's a solid amount of crowd control. Doesn't want to chase any further. Dust settles. Interesting decision by FoCuS to snipe these statues with all three heroes. 1-0 struggles right now to get the region back into his army. Has to move the statues to the right when FoCuS was looking to the left. Nice little dodge.
A decent recovery here by 1-0. I thought he might lose the game right there on the spot. FoCuS chasing after that statue. I think a little bit too long. There was a Fiend also reinforcing, which he could have easily killed instead. I'm a bit worried for FoCuS right now. He's low on mana, no level 3 Shadow, and no Invuln anymore.
1-0. Are we clutching this out? 4-2. This long best of 7 series. FoCuS has the inventory to make it work. There is an Invul potion available in 3 seconds. Going for the Lich. Stomp is nice. FoCuS fighting for survival here. Raider in position. Crit! There's a coil! Long range! And last second he gets it! Counter nuke on the other side. Blade Master out of the fight for now. This army by FoCuS doesn't have too much damage outside the blade. And man, does he have to be careful. Stomp, beautiful, but the coil is ready.
6 saves on the Fiends towards the right. 2 of them so close to going down, but haven't fallen yet. One more right click from the Grunts. Gets it. Level 4 for the Blade Master. A bit more HP, but no heal wave still. Blade Master now in serious trouble. Kodo did get a Devour already. Fiend Burrow once more coming into play. The Fiend Burrow has been really nice this entire series.
Right on. Kodo will be falling here. More experience. Level 2 on the Dark Ranger, and that's a game-changing level up as we finally have silence against these TC Storms. We're super good. Dust settles. We're both around 50. We both reinforced the army. 1-0. We've been pushing up for 60. Blade Master got level 4. Important level for the level 2 critical strike. And probably most importantly, got the Invo Potion from the start.
Shadowheart needs the clarity, needs to keep creeping, needs to keep leveling. He's going to the bottom right again. The camp there is already gone. Blade Master with the steal against the red camp. But he might just be too late at the red. FoCuS could be creeping the other red across the map, but he's not doing it. I feel like FoCuS again is not creeping enough.
Well, on the other side, 1-0 doesn't have a town portal. He's getting slammed, he's hurt, he's bruised, and he can't get out. There's also no combat items. Dark Ranger! Almost deleted. The coil saves him on nothing XP once again. TC connects. The last bit of mana for that Stomp must result in kills now for FoCuS. The TC on the other side, he's silenced. He's dead.
No Dust of Appearance, by the way. Shadowhunter here, super low HP. And also, still no level 3. How is he not level 3? Still, one has to wonder. Lich level 3, all of a sudden himself. Dark Ranger in the back, in trouble as well. But there is healing for her. Blade Master now has to run, has to get away. One nuke and she would be dead. Fiends are borrowing and saving themselves. Still no Dust. FoCuS is botching this late game. Losing the Blade Master to the Nova. Losing this series. FoCuS giving away another lead.
Oh man, the tier 1 tournament curse continues for FoCuS while he's so good in tier 2 and team events. Solo tier 1 tournaments, man, not made for him. 1-0 takes the series with convincing play, makes a strong case for him being the second best undead in the world again after Labyrinth took that title from him for a couple of weeks. This is a statement performance by 1-0. It is a top 6 run. But here's the bad news, Mr. Necromancer. Happy is next.